Good evening, class. How are you doing?
Good.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to be learning about prepositions today. The first thing I'm going to have you look at is this little poster right here. This has, I think it is 18 of the most common prepositions. So I want you to just look at this for a minute and just think about the words that are on there. Think about how you use them in your day-to-day life. I'm going to give you just a second to think about that. So after you've thought about that, I want you to answer a question for me real quick. Think, how difficult do you think it would be to get through your day-to-day life without using any of these words?
Hard.
It'd be pretty hard. These are all really, really common words that we use all the time. So prepositions are very important. So prepositions are words that are going to be in between nouns in a sentence. They are going to be connecting nouns in a sentence and showing relationships between nouns in a sentence. Our objective for today is we're going to go over 7 different types of prepositions. It's going to be these 7 up here. And by the end of the lesson, you're going to go on Schoology and you're going to complete a little assignment where you identify those 7 prepositions in a sentence. And by the end of the lesson, you'll be ready for that. Don't worry. Alright, so real quick, I just wanted to show you again, kind of highlight how you use these in your day-to-day life. All of these words right here are words you use on a daily basis. So for example, you could say, I jumped off the pier into the water. You could say, I stopped at my grandmother's house after work. So those are all really common things that you do on a day-to-day basis, right?
Yes.
So we have our 7 prepositions here today. The 7 that we're going to be working with are up here. They are by, to, of, above, as, around, and between. So let me get a marker real fast. I'm going to just show you using these 7 words in these 2 sentences right here, or a couple of those words using these sentences, how prepositions connect nouns in a sentence. So our first sample sentence is right here. It says the dog slept by the bed. So we have 2 nouns in this sentence. Those nouns are dog and bed. So we need to remember that a noun is a person, a place, or a thing. And our preposition in this sentence is by. We're going to circle that preposition. In this sentence, by is showing us how the dog and the bed are related. The dog is by the bed. The second sentence reads, I need a glass of water. Our nouns in this sentence are glass and water. So our preposition in this sentence is between those 2 words. It is the word of. I know that this is the preposition because it's in between our 2 nouns. And it's showing you how our 2 nouns are related. There is a glass of water. The glass is full of water. So how can you tell if a word is a preposition based on what I just did on the board?
You need 2 nouns.
It is the word in between the 2 nouns, the word that defines the relationship between the 2 nouns. Good. Do you have any questions before we move on? No? Okay. So in order to help us remember these 7 prepositions up here, we're going to do a little song. I'm going to sing it for you twice, and then we're going to sing it once together before we move on to the next activity. So we're going to sing this to the tune of Row, Row, Row Your Boat. And we have our first line here and then our second line. So it goes by, to, of, above, as, around, between. I'm going to do it one more time and then we're going to do it together. So it goes by, to, of, above, as, around, between. Do you think you can get it? All right, we're going to do it together and I'm going to go 3, 2, 1 and then we'll do it, okay? So 3, 2, 1. By, to, of, above, as, around, between. So when you sing stuff in a song like that, it's gonna help you remember it better for later. It's gonna be harder for you to forget. Alright, so we're going to do an activity now. We're going to fill in these 7 sentences right here, and we're gonna kind of use our prepositions that we have as a word bank. So our first sentence, and actually, my bad. I'm gonna read the sentence, and then what I want you to do is I'm gonna give you another signal, kind of like I did this, and then you're just gonna yell out which one you think goes in the blank. Okay. So the first one is she went blank bed. We'll take a second to think about that, and then I'll go 1, 2, 3, and then when I go like that, you say the answer. So.
2.
Yeah. I'll fill that in. Our second sentence is the cat ran blank the kitchen. Again.
Around.
Number 3, the girl was blank classes.
Between.
Between. Number 4, her eyes were bright blank the sun.
As.
Yep. Number 5, I stopped blank the mall.
By.
Number 6, the poster was blank the door.
Above.
See, you're good at this. You already got it. Last one, number 7, he has a box blank his favorite books.
By.
So this one is going to be
Of.
He has a box of his favorite books. In this one, the preposition is connecting box and books. And the relationship for this one would be that the box has books inside of it. It's a box of books. So do we have any more questions before we move on to our independent activity? Okay. So for our independent activity, you're going to be going on and logging on to Schoology. There's going to be an assignment for you where you are going to do sentences like the ones that I did down here. And you're going to be underlining the nouns and circling the prepositions in Schoology. And it's going to be using these 7 prepositions up here. So go ahead, get logged onto Schoology and start that assignment, please. Talk to the camera for a second now. This is the point at which the students would log in. They would finish their assignment. I covered the posters back here because while the students are working, they should not have access to the list of words. At this point, they should be able to do the lesson without using the word bank. After the independent activity is done, we are going to move on to the summary. So you can go ahead and close that. We're not actually going to be doing that independent assignment right now. I'd just be staring at you, sitting there quietly for, 5 minutes. Alright, so in our summary, I'm just going to go over one more time what prepositions are. So our prepositions are going to be words that are connecting 2 nouns in a sentence. It is a word that is defining the relationship between 2 nouns in a sentence. A lot of the time, prepositions, as you can see with the above, across, against, behind, they're positional words that tell you where something is as opposed to something else. But not always. Sometimes it just shows you the relationship. We're going to sing our song again. One more time, I'm gonna sing it for you, then we're gonna sing it together, then you're gonna sing it once by yourself. So I'm gonna do it first. So one more time, this is our first line, this is our second line in the song, and it goes to the tune of row, row, row your boat. So it goes, by two of above, as around between. We're gonna do it again together. I'm going to do my hand signal again, so we're gonna go. By two of above, as around between. And then once by yourself, I'm gonna do the hand signal. When I go like this, you start.
By two of above, as around between.
Good. Sounds like the song is already helping you to remember. So that's exactly what we want. Alright, so our objective was that after you were given a lesson on your 7 examples of prepositions, which are these 7 up here, that you would be able to complete your Schoology assignment, filling in your sentences like I did here, underlining the nouns, circling the prepositions, and that you would get at least 8 out of 10 correct on that Schoology assignment. So how do we feel like we did on that Schoology assignment? Give me a thumbs up if you think you did good, a thumbs down if you think you did bad, or a thumb in the middle if you're not quite sure. Alright, you seem very confident, which makes me very happy. Thank you. So I got a few final questions before we wrap up completely and move on, before I can, add our next 7 tomorrow. So my first question is, what is a preposition?
It connects 2 nouns.
Yep, a preposition is a word that connects 2 nouns. So what are some examples of prepositions? Can you give me some examples of words that are prepositions?
At,
At is a preposition. Can you think of a couple more?
under,
Under.
with,
Yep. So all these words right here on our poster are prepositions. We have our 7 up there. And I believe there's 200 or 300 different prepositions actually, but these are just 18 of the most common right here. And last question, what do prepositions show you in sentences?
they show that 2 nouns are connected or related.
Yes, they show you the relationship between 2 nouns. So again,